Once I stop living that, I'm no more.
When you're striving to become successful, things are going to get hard no matter what. You're going to have to do a lot of things that you truly, honestly don't want to do deep down, but it's going to make a lot of difference when you discover that that's the key to becoming successful. It's going to be waking up early. It's going to be working harder than everybody else. It's going to be attacking those goals with new information and new knowledge that you've learned because you're that dedicated to the craft. You work in the overtime and you learn so much about everything you possibly can in order to better yourself day in and day out.
I didn't have one learning disability, I had several, but I hid all this shit. I never talked about my dad being crazy, or I couldn't read, I couldn't write. I got held back in my second grade. So now we moved. My mom now finds the courage to move to this small town called Brazil, Indiana. I get out of pararescue, so I go to a job called TACP. Just real quick about that, it's a great, best job is in the military, but I'm all poopy past now, 'cause I'm not a pararescueman. But my mind, once again, has me shackled, and I'm thinking I'm not a pararescueman. So I'm like, TACP was a great job, I had great friends in it, and I did it pretty well, but I could have been so much better. My mind was once again hijacking me. So I get out, but from the time from 1994 to 1999, or 1998, I go from 175 pounds to 297. Not much education. 4.5 years in the military, I started spraying for cockroaches and making $1,000 a month. And I had an $810 apartment.
Whoa.
So I'm scrounging, dude.
Yeah.
And so my life is hard. I'm spraying for cockroaches from 11 o'clock at night to 7 o'clock in the morning, and that's my life. But once again, man, you can't lie to yourself. What's motivating you is the stories I'm telling you about what I did in my life. Once I stop living that, I'm no more. As a man looking at another man, you know when a man's done. I didn't want to win. I still don't want to win for some reason. I don't care about winning. For some, I just want to go the distance. It happened when I could never get over the hump. I kept on feeling like I was getting over the hump. And then one little windstorm, small little windstorm would come by and push me back to scratch. Why am I not, I'm learning how to read now. I was a junior in high school and couldn't read that well, a 4th grade reading level, because I would cheat on everything. And I learned how to read, I learned how to write. I taught myself all these things, all these disciplines. But whenever the first real big challenge would come, that little windstorm would push me back in the hole. And I realized, man, I'm fixing stuff on a surface level. I'm all surface, man. I'm not going deep into the cellar of my mind and fixing the foundation of my soul. My soul is broken. But I knew I could fix it, but I was afraid to go back. I was afraid to face the demons of my life, because you start lying. You want anybody knowing this shit about you, so you start lying about who you're not and start creating a person about who you want to be, but it's not who you are. So that's when I started realizing, man, I'm never going to get over the hurdle. I'm always going to live on a surface level until I go deep, deep into the sewer of my mind to figure out and face all of these different demons. That's hard. I was just the opposite of what I am today. I was that guy who ran away absolutely everything that I got in front of me. But not many people knew that. I had two people. Like the real me was like this very scared, insecure, stuttering, got beat up by his dad, all this kind of stuff. And then I built this fake person that walked around like my shit didn't stink. Yeah, so that's kind of how I did it. And through a process of time, I realized that I was lying to myself and lying to people. In my mind, I was always afraid. My whole life I was afraid, but I had this voice, this conscience that would always be battling me, saying, hey, you got to get up and do something. I didn't want to do shit. I was just afraid, but that voice would force me to get up. From the age of 19 to the age of 22, I went and did a job called TACP, where you control fast movers behind enemy lines. Cool job, but there's no water. I was afraid of the water, so I avoided it. And I gained 125 pounds in that time frame. I went from 175 to almost 300, to 297 was my heaviest. And I started finding things that was comfortable. And the more things I found comfortable, the more uncomfortable my mind was. Because that voice I was telling you about, it always was there. I was just trying to avoid that conscience. I wanted to be left alone from that conscience, and it wouldn't leave me alone. But it's an overall message to people that we're all, a lot of us are going through a hard time in life. Some people have been bullied, some people are just stressed out, some people are insecure, some people are fat and overweight, and the world puts a lot of this shit in your mind. It's not just you, you help it. And my whole thing is about, I had to develop a mindset that was indestructible. I had to armor plate my mind. And it's about what you're saying to yourself, but it also comes with work. So whenever I was getting beat down, physically, mentally, spiritually, whatever I was going through, just saying, I would put, you can't hurt me. You can't hurt me just became a message, I would say to myself. And that's just kind of where it comes from. I believe that most human beings are only living at about 40% of their capability. So the mind has a governor, like a car. If you're driving a car and the car has a governor on it, the car may say 130 miles an hour, but the governor's set for 91. Once that governor sets in, you get to 91, that car starts doing this. The car wants to go. The car wants to go, but that factory said, we're not going past 91. We have a factory, a nice governor in our brain, and it's a survival mechanism. It protects us from pain and suffering. The second we feel that shit, our mind says, oh no, this isn't fun. We should back off. We should sit down, find something more comfortable. And there's something about the mind. The mind has the tactical advantage over you at all times of your life.
Thank you all so much for watching the video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section below.